Indiana state health officials are asking for your help after the detection of skunk rabies in the Hoosier state. First time in 2 decades. Wave News reporter Brandon Spencer talked to Indiana's public health veterinarian about the dangers, especially for pets.
Well, John, it's unclear how many infected skunks may be around in southern Indiana. The state found out after a dog tested positive for rabies in Clark County, and now Indiana's public health officials are asking you for help in order to prevent the spread. Running into skunks is already a daunting task because of the threat of their horrific spray, but for Hoosiers, they also now have to be aware of skunk rabies for the first time in 20 years.
There was an exposure to a dog who is now following recommendations from the State Board of Animal Health.
Dr. Jen Brown is the Indiana state veterinarian and says rabies is a viral and deadly infection, but is mainly spread in saliva through the bite of an infected animal. She says bats have been the main source of rabies in Indiana, but what worries vets the most with skunks is the likelihood of them to interact with pets and other domesticated animals. But the spread can be prevented.
The single most important thing that anyone can do to protect themselves from rabies is actually to vaccinate their pets. Worldwide, that is the single most effective way to prevent human cases of rabies, is to vaccinate domestic animals like dogs and cats.
Dr. Brown, along with other government agencies, are also asking Hoosiers to be on the lookout and report sick or dead skunks to be tested at their labs, and shares what to look for as possible symptoms.
A rabid animal is not going to be behaving in its usual fashion. So for a skunk, it might be as simple as seeing a skunk out and active during the day. Skunks usually are only active at night. So if you see a skunk out during the day, that's a sign that it might be sick, and it might be sick with rabies.
Dr. Brown says other possible symptoms could be if an animal is staggering, walking in circles, or even trying to attack something that's not there. She says if you see this, then you should avoid them at all costs and report the behavior because a rabies infection, if gone undetected, can be deadly.
Rabies is a really preventable disease, but the prevention after an exposure has to happen right away. If we wait for symptoms to develop, it's almost always too late to help the person or the animal who is exposed.
Dr. Brown says if you believe you or your pet may have been exposed to rabies, then you should immediately contact your healthcare provider or veterinarian. Brandon Spencer, Wave News.
Thanks, Brandon.